how to do the link with Parentpay. So we log onto our Parentpay site. There's very little to do to actually make the two systems talk to each other. We go into the payment items, and I can either create a new one, or in this case I'm just going to edit one that's already there, the Barcelona trip, by clicking on Edit Payment Item Details. All the information you've put in, name, amounts, etc. are there, but what we're interested in is the finance and accounting section. You just scroll down to it. What's really important is here in the group code 1, where it says account code, you need to put in the short code that exists on the account on Private Fund Manager, and it has to be identical. If you're not sure, look it up on Private Fund Manager, highlight the short code and copy back into Parentpay and paste it down, because it must be exact. And that's all that Parentpay and Private Fund Manager need in order to know which trip or which account a person's paying for. Both systems know who the student is because both of us use the SIMS admission number, so that's automatically in place. And then all we do on a daily or weekly basis, however frequently you want to, is we go into payment items and into the reports tab, and we run a payment report. We choose the date range if it's just today you're interested in, or yesterday and today, or since the beginning of this week, depending on how frequently you want to do this. It will never duplicate items. We click on the button here called Excel Full Report. And what that does is download and create a spreadsheet of all the new transactions that you've had on Parentpay. Here they are listed, who they are from, what it's for, how much, the date they paid, how they paid, all that sort of information is automatically on the spreadsheet. And what we need to do is save that spreadsheet in a specific folder. This is the most important thing. We need to browse to your Private Fund Manager folder, and within the Private Fund Manager folder is a subfolder up at the top here called Unprocessed Internet Payments. That's where the spreadsheet must be saved. So I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to change it to an Excel workbook because sometimes it defaults to a web page, which is no good to us. So a name and an Excel workbook, and just make sure that you are in Unprocessed Internet Payments. And then we click on the Save button, and once saved we must close the spreadsheet. So that's downloaded a report from Parentpay and saved it in an area we need to do so. And then it's really straightforward. We jump into Private Fund Manager, we go into Transaction Entry and Receipts, but we go to the very last tab, which is called Internet Receipts. And we simply click on the button in the bottom left, which will read that spreadsheet. It will read the contents of the internet payment file. It will show you its progress across the bottom in blue dots. If it finds a shortcode that it cannot exactly match on Private Fund Manager, it tells you and gives you the chance to say, "Oop, yeah, I didn't quite get it right." So here on the Alton Towers trip we had a slightly different code. If it finds a pupil it doesn't recognise, again it gives you the opportunity to identify them. The example here is quite extreme. Normally, if you've set it up correctly, there will be nothing it has to check on. And as you can see, it shows you there have been 7 new records since the last time we did this, and it lists what they are, who they're from and what it's for. Now because you're only paid once a fortnight, we have to save these transactions into a temporary holding account, and so make sure you pick that one and not your school fund account. And we can print if we wish to the list, probably don't need to. And now all of that information has been saved to the right student, the right trip, and into our holding account.